The first card you have your past is the Six of Cups. Yeah, this is a really innocent, a very sweet energy. It's a very beautiful card. Yeah, I don't usually see love in this card, or romantic love anyway. I usually see family love, siblings, friends. It's platonic love usually. But there is love here. I'm seeing that kind of love. I'm seeing that romantic love. And I'm saying is, not was actually, because I think it's still there. I think the attraction's still there. On both sides, actually. You might not be around them. I'm getting that feeling. This is all about, reunions again, all that kind of thing. So you might be thinking about a reunion with someone. So it looks like you're not around whoever this is. There's a bit of frustration here, actually. I'm getting a bit of frustration. It's like someone gave you the impression that there was something more than friendship. And I think there was more than friendship. I think there was more than friendship. But it's almost like it can only go so far and that's it. It can only go so far. It's not going any further. And I think, it's like it's not getting off the ground. I'm getting that. It's not getting off the ground. It's not getting off the ground. And maybe they promised you it would, or maybe they gave you the impression that it would get off the ground, but it didn't happen. It's almost like, if you're sitting on the runway on a plane and, you're waiting for it to take off, but it didn't take off. That's what I'm getting. You kind of sat there frustrated. Yeah, really awful. They really should tell you. As an Aries, I get so frustrated. People need to tell you. If they don't want more, they need to tell you. And then you can move on. But it's kind of like, we'll give you the impression that there might be more, but there isn't. And it kind of, you go down the road and you keep going on and on and on. So, yeah, there's a little bit of coolness here as well. So you might have been a bit cool toward them, toward the end. Maybe they were toward you as well. I'm not seeing games. I don't think you play games. You're not that kind of person. But it's kind of like, they're acting like this. They're pulling away. I don't want to scare them away. So I'm going to be a bit cool myself. And it's not like you. You're not usually like this. You usually talk things out. You're very practical. If there's a problem, you say, okay, let's have a conversation. But yeah, there's a bit of backwards and forwards here. I'm getting, I don't know if this resonates with you, but I'm getting ready. Are you ready? Oh, I don't know if I'm ready. Let's see if we're ready. Let's see if we'll be ready at this time or that time. Are you ready? That kind of thing. Are you ready? Are you ready? And so you're kind of thinking, they're waiting for the right time, or maybe they'll be ready then, or this has to happen first, and all this thing. But no, it didn't happen. Very, very, very frustrating. And I think what happened in the end was you just had to back away from this. Because if you look at this card, just on the left-hand side, there's a man that's very, very small, and he's walking away. He's got his walking stick, he's hunched over. And the thing about the manners in this card is, if you look at this whole scene, it's all very colourful, it's bright, there's flowers, so it's a very positive, warm, beautiful scene. But the man's totally grey. It's like he's dressed in grey, he's hunched over. It's the opposite of everything else that's happening in this card. So it's like you had to walk away, and it hurt you to walk away. It's like you felt grey, lifeless, you lost your energy. It's almost like you gave your energy to them because you were grey and this scene's really colourful. So they kept their colour and you walked away, and there was all this greyness. Really, really sad. I'm sorry to see that if that's you. But the really difficult thing for me is, because I keep on seeing this, and obviously for you, more for you, there's still attraction there. There's attraction on both sides. There's attraction on both sides, but then there's this frustration of not quite getting what you needed and having to walk away. And lots of life was kind of drained out of you because of that. And you had to leave all the colour behind. Very sad. Okay, so yeah, so with the Eight of Cups, which is the next card, obviously this is the same thing. Walking away. And if you look at this man again, he's in exactly the same position as this other man in the Six of Cups, because the man in the Six of Cups, obviously he's wearing grey and this man's wearing red. They're both hunched over, they've both got walking sticks, they're both unhappy. It's like, okay, I have to do this, I don't want to, I'm walking away slowly with my walking stick, I'm hunched over, I'm sad, my head's down, but I have to do this. That's what I'm getting. And also again, same thing in this card. You walked away, but your love was still flowing toward them. Because if you look at the water in this card, there's a wall of cups, which is all about, emotions. And so the water's flowing toward those emotions. So your water still flowed toward them. Your love still flowed toward them. So you didn't want to walk away. So your feelings were still there, even though you walked away. That's kind of what I'm getting. Now, okay, there's some kind of talk, there's some kind of discussion, not an argument. I'm not seeing that. And you're not normally like that. You're very calm and very kind of straightforward when you speak to someone. I don't think there was a lot of talking. There was a bit of a discussion, a bit of a talk, but there wasn't a lot of talking that happened in that. And it looks like your face spoke for itself, actually, I think. I know I shouldn't laugh, it's terrible, but I'm just looking at this moon, and it looks like he's giving everyone and everything the side eye. And maybe that's what you said. You were like, well, you make all these excuses. You say, oh, I promised this and I'm going to do this, and oh, when I'm ready, and all that kind of thing. But it was like, no, there's nothing else I can really say. I'm just going to look at you like this, and then I'm going to walk away. The frustrating thing here is that, I think they're still watching you. I think they're still watching you, and they still have feelings for you. That's what's so irritating. Because if you look at this wall of cups, there's a little spy hole. There's a little spy hole there. And you can see, and the telling thing here is not just that there's a spy hole and someone's kind of still looking toward you. The biggest thing here is, for me, in this card, is that there is a cup missing. So one of the cups is missing. And what that tells me is love was missing. Something you needed, love that you needed from them. One cup, one piece was missing. It was missing. Obviously, cups represent emotions. So you were missing that from them. And you need love. You don't want almost love. You don't want love with some bits missing. You want the whole thing. You deserve it. You deserve all the cups. And you knew that. And that's why you walked. That's what I'm seeing there. And yeah, I'll talk about the Two of Pentacles here as well, because it's kind of talking about a similar thing. So, okay, so when I look at this card, I'm getting these little messages. It's like messaging backwards and forwards. I think in the beginning of this, with this love connection, the conversations were really, really good. I'm getting this really good feeling. It's like, these are amazing. These are satisfying conversations. They're real conversations. They're real. It's all deep. It's all, I love you. It's all, I've got these plans, and it's all, I want to tell you who I truly am and really, really feel you. And I want you to feel what I'm talking about. It's very deep, very, very satisfying. And I think toward the end, it almost feels like you ended up with these, it's almost like inane messages. And they didn't really mean anything. It's like, hey, how are you? I'm going to eat dinner now. I'm going to bed now. So boring. It's like it's like they're nothing. These conversations started off as being very, very strong and very in depth and full of love and full of energy. And in the end, it was like blank, complete blank, complete blank. So, it's like, no, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this anymore. Do you know what I'm getting? This is how you felt. I think this is how you felt. I'm not respecting myself. I'm not respecting myself if I stay here and just put up with this blankness. It's not like they're outwardly, or they were outwardly being disrespectful. It's just that they knew what you wanted and they still wouldn't step up. They were still promising, saying all these things, giving you this boring conversation. It's like, I don't really care. It felt like that to you. I don't really care. I don't really care. And they weren't giving you the best of them, and you deserved that. So yeah, that's why you walked. It hurt your heart. I'm seeing that in both of these cards. But yeah, you walked. So yeah, if that's you, that's what I'm getting there. So, okay, so the first card you have for your present is Justice. Yeah, so look at this. Look at the difference between this and the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles obviously is completely out of balance, and that's how you felt around them. And now you've got this balance. And I think that's where you're heading toward now. Because the more you're away from them, the more imbalance you feel. In your head, maybe not in your heart, but in your head. And this is really interesting. I'm seeing this really interesting thing in this card. You might not be able to see it because it's a little bit small, but there are two squares here. So there's one on a crown, which is obviously representing a mind, a head. And there's another one, and it's kind of holding her cloak together. So it's on her body, and it's where her heart is. Excuse me, sorry, my throat. So yeah, it's where her heart is. So there's one on her head and there's one in her heart. So that represents being balanced, head and heart being balanced. Now, you're not like that right now. That's what it feels like. But this is telling you that that's what's to come. You are going to get back into balance. I think that's what's reminding you. So if you're a bit up and down in your feelings, and you probably still are, it is going to get back into balance for you. And that's what this card's all about, balance. And yeah, the thing about a square is as well, it can be about coming back around to the start again, you know, all four corners of the globe and coming back around again. So I actually think there's probably going to be some communication again from this axe, or whoever this is. I think it's an axe. Yeah, so I think this is obviously warning you to guard yourself against that, you know, because obviously she's got her sword up. So, you know, and the thing is, you're just starting to get back into balance now, and you need to keep yourself there. You need to keep yourself in this balanced state. You don't want to go back to where you were. And I'm not saying don't talk to them. If you want to talk to them, it's up to you. But this is all about guarding yourself. Don't let them drag you back there into this, oh, promises and will they or won't they? Is it ever going to lead to something? I'm really, really hoping it will. All that kind of thing. You don't want to go back into that mode. So that's what this is telling you. And, you know, just thinking about this head square and this heart square, I think with you, and I've seen this in your readings before a long time ago, and it pops up every now and again. When you love someone, or when you put work into anything, but especially when you love being in love. You love that feeling. You love that. It's an amazing feeling. And it just looks like either your love life's going really well for you and your work life isn't, or it's the other way around. And it's really hard for you to find that balance between the love and the head, the work and the love. So, you know, it doesn't have to be like that. But, you know, when you commit to something, this is what Capricorn's like. You put everything into it, and it's impossible to put that much effort into absolutely everything all at the same time. It's impossible. You can't do that. So it's about finding balance between the two things. And also, you know, Capricorn, you're a trier. You try and you try and you try, and you're a super hard worker. You put work into just about everything, not just work, but everything. And not everyone else does. And that's the problem with this relationship. If you're connected, and any other relationship that comes along, this is something that you're learning. You know, if you're putting everything in and they're not putting work in or things in for you, which is what was happening here, you shouldn't be making up for that. You shouldn't be making up the difference, because I'm seeing lots of excuses here. I'm seeing, oh, they weren't very well, or oh, they've got a lot of problems, or oh, they've got this, so they can't give me everything right now, so I'll make up for that. No, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. Yes, of course, if you love someone, you help them, you do all that. But there needs to be more balance, and there wasn't that in this relationship. And I think what's happening here in this Justice card is you're learning that, and you're thinking, okay, with the next person that comes along, I'm going to be more balanced in my life. So I think that's what you're learning. Because a lot of now in your present, I'm feeling there's a lot of learning and a lot of thinking about what happened, and getting yourself back up again, getting yourself back into balance, and thinking about, okay, how am I going to be in the future? What do I learn? And that's the absolute best way to be. Yeah, so there's more about this love connection, a little bit more, but really more about what you're learning and what you've learned from that. So what this is telling you is this is all about a rock. This is all about the coin. This is all about the earth. So your sense of self, your rock, your balance, your earth comes from you. It comes from inside you. Now you know that. This is the thing. Your brain knows that, because I was seeing that with these two squares. The square is so balanced, perfectly balanced. So your brain knows that. But with your heart, it's like you still miss that feeling. You miss that feeling. And a lot of people think Capricorns aren't emotional. That's absolutely wrong. Super wrong. You're so emotional. You love that feeling. You miss that feeling. And I actually also think that this person, they're not just anyone, or they weren't just anyone. The love you felt, this is what I'm getting, the love you felt It's like a lifeline. It felt like life to you, and that's why I'm seeing it was all drained out of you. And the Six of Cups with that man, he was all grey and he was all drained. The life was drained out of you when you left, because the love you had for them and the love you felt was a lifeline to you. And I'm seeing that. Look at this. This is really interesting. I'm seeing that here. This is the first time I've ever seen this in this card. Okay, so look at this hand and this coin. So you were lifting up this person. You were lifting up this person with your love, with your hand. You're holding them up, just like this hand's holding up this coin. But there's no colour in the hand. It's white. It's completely white. It's the only white thing in this whole card. So the life, the energy, the colour drained out of you. You lost your essence. It drained out of you and it went into them. Because you gave everything to them. You were making up the distance. Sorry, the difference. I'm not the distance, the difference. You're making up the difference. And you can't do that. So lots and lots and lots of things you're thinking about right now. And a lot of the time we don't realise things that are happening in past relationships or in any other situation until we actually stand back and see things from far away. And that's what you're doing right now. So this all sounds very negative, but you're really, really learning, and you're really getting your balance back, you're getting your energy back, and you're doing that by really looking at things, really looking back on things and really thinking about things. Okay, so yeah, okay, something else here. Okay, this is fantastic. This is a turnaround. This is a big turnaround. Now it's to do with money. Look at this big, massive coin here. So this is energy, work, money. It looks like you were contemplating, or you might be right now, some kind of financial hit. And that makes sense, because in this climate, just about everyone's facing this right now, or they're worried about it. So there's all that energy in the air. So I can understand why you would have that as well. I'm actually seeing some kind of knockback. So you might have had someone say no to you to do with work or money or something. Because it feels like, oh, I was locked out. It feels like, no, I can't go back. There's a no. So what this is showing you is there's going to be a big turnaround. So it looks like the moment you're thinking, no, they've said no, it's impossible, it'll never happen now, especially in this climate, especially with what's happening now. They've said no, that's it, I can't go back. I don't know if this is some kind of, okay, it might be some kind of relief package. It might be some kind of immediate help that comes to you to turn things around. It's money related, absolutely, it's about money. It feels like some kind of an injection of life, some relief, or something's being injected into something, and that's coming to you. It's not directly to you. It's not directly to you. It's like it's coming to a company or a person, and that's going to kind of trickle down to you. Because look at this hand. When the money or the relief or whatever this is, and I really keep on saying money, I keep on seeing money, so it's something to do with money, it has to be. You'll be ready when this comes in. Your hand will be there, just like this hand, collecting the coin. That'll be what you'll be like. You'll be there, ready with your hand there. And, it's not like the person who said no is going to suddenly turn around and say yes. It's not like that. It's like something is going to turn around, and it's going to more than make up for things for you. It's going to more than make up for things. And at the moment you can't see this. You're like, no. It's going to be a yes, because you've got the Sun card. So we'll talk about this now. And the Sun card is all about yes. The Sun card says yes. It's the yes card. And you've got the two together. So it's like impossible. If something feels impossible, and I think it does, it's going to turn into the possible. This feels light. It's like, oh, I can do this now. I'm free, just like this beautiful child on this card. So don't give up. Don't just discount things. Don't just say, oh no, I've had this no, and now we're in this terrible position. The whole world is so. There's absolutely no. No, it's going to turn into a yes. It's going to turn into a yes. Big turnaround. Something is going to inject life, energy, abundance into whatever this thing is that's been a no for you. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, just one more little thing here. Just watch out for some communication. Yeah, it feels like it's coming from this ex, actually, I have to say. And I was seeing this before. Okay, so don't worry, they're not going to do anything negative. They're not going to say anything horrible to you or anything like that. But this is kind of reflecting the Six of Cups. because there are children there and there's a child here. So very kind of childlike energy. So it looks like the communication that comes in might be more of this kind of Two of Pentacles kind of communication. Not deep, not important. A bit childish or childlike, something that you don't really take seriously. So just keep that in mind. It's more of the same. Now, I'm not saying don't ever talk to them, but again, if you look at the Justice card, it's saying, guard yourself against this. You don't want your feelings to go back again because you're getting into balance now. So that's just something to think about there. Okay, so the first card you have, your future, is, the Fool. So you see, this is really starting to show me what they're like. I'm seeing this a lot more because I've got the Sun card, which is, the Sun card and the Fool, they're really positive, they're really fun, they're really happy, but you don't really take them all that seriously because there's a child and this is the Fool. So yeah, they're very fun and all that kind of thing. I can see the appeal to them. They're fun, they're passionate, full of life, all that kind of thing, but they can't give you what you want. They can't give you what you need. You need all the cups, not a couple of them, not almost all the cups. You need all of them, and they can't give you that. So this is another reminder of that. So if you start everything up with them again, really what this is telling you again is you'll probably be in a similar position again, like you were in the Two of Pentacles. The conversations will start, they'll go around again. It'll end up like, just nothing important, nothing you want to take seriously. There's no kind of depth here. And the thing is, they've got feelings. I keep on seeing that, and I hate saying that to you. I almost don't want to say that to you because that'll make you think, well, they've got feelings, something will happen. But there's a lot of shallowness. There's a lot of, I can't put these feelings into practice. I can't put these feelings into something deep. I just want to have fun. I just want to enjoy the feelings, but I don't want to do anything with those feelings. So that's kind of what I'm getting there coming from them. And I don't want to say, they'll never ever change, because a lot of people say that. They say, once you're like that, no one ever changes. No, I think people can change. But the big message here is, don't wait for them. Don't sit around waiting for them to change. I know it's really difficult right now because everyone's literally sitting around. So there's nowhere to kind of put all these feelings. It's like, I can't distract myself. I can't go out to the cinema. I can't go out here or there. I've got to sit in these feelings. But yeah, try and keep busy. Try and concentrate on other things if you can. But whatever you do, don't sit and wait. Don't sit and wait for this person. Because if they come back, they're going to come and talk to you. Excuse me, I'm seeing that. But, sorry, my throat. It's more of this kind of fool, child kind of talk. Nothing serious. I'm sorry to say that, but that is what I'm seeing there. And so the next card you have is the Four of Wands, which is absolutely fantastic. So Ace of Pentacles, the Sun, Four of Wands. So here's this turnaround. Really, really, really amazing turnaround. And, look at these gates here. This is 1111. This is the gates of opportunity. And a lot of people right now are sitting around thinking, there's no opportunity. There are hardly any. And they're right. There aren't many opportunities. I'm not going to pretend there are. But for you, there's some help here. There's some financial help that's coming in. It's going to open more options up for you. Do you know what I'm getting here? I'm getting this feeling of time opening up for you.